Good morning, people. Some days there's things I would like to share and want to say and I'm feeling, and other days sometimes it's just I draw a blank or it's just so overwhelming, with everything that's going on. And in the last few years, I've gone through a number of crises. What is plural for crisis? But I've had several crises come through my life in the last few years. I'm sure all of us have in our own ways, but some of the things that have occurred in my life were, I guess, fallout from things that I participated in, or may have been, elements that were out of my control. But, as I get older, I see patterns, I see things that, that can be a dead end road quickly. Sometimes you don't even need to steer the car, as it were, in that direction to know it's going to be a dead end, but you go anyways, whether it's through optimism or boredom, whatever it is. But I look at some of the things that have happened to me in the past, let's say 6 or 7 years, and to tell you the truth, I don't know how I came out the other side completely intact. And I'm not saying I am completely intact. Maybe physically, I still have all my appendages and things seem to be working pretty much the way they should. But psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, there was definitely some serious damage done. And what I've noticed as the things that have really changed within me is how I look at people in general. When I see, anything, if there's any clue that I could be dealing with someone that's going to trip me up, get me in trouble, get on my nerves, be a drain, I'm very quick to assess it and get rid of it, And you can certainly put that in the category of self-preservation. Excuse me. But then you kind of get to a point where you start looking for it in people. You don't even really give it the time to present itself, to unfold. You start actually looking for the flaws in the slaw, as they say. You start thinking to yourself, all right, there's somebody new I've just met or I've encountered or whatever, and I wonder what their line of bullshit is or what they're going to try to sell me. I mean, I'm convinced, I don't spend a lot of time there, but I go over to Instagram, and that's just, a soft porn site for young adults and minors included. And I don't know who's overseeing all of that business, but it's pretty disgusting and perverse in a lot of ways. But people are bored, and people want money, and people want recognition, and there are 15 minutes of fame, as Andy Warhol once mentioned. Who doesn't? Of course, we all want to matter. We all want to count. We all want to be seen. And some of us will go to great lengths to be seen, or hopefully be discovered, or be paid, or whatever it is they want to be. But I'm just so drained with the human condition that I'm more and more getting content with distancing myself and finding the things that I don't like about people, or just assessing the situation so quickly that, I'm not going to let it have time to unfold and go in whatever direction it may go. I don't know if I'm the only one thinking this way right now, but it's like a bad dream that I just can't wake up from, I'm noticing more and more I'm having trouble sleeping at night and going to bed at odd hours, and I have no idea how I've been able to maintain my sobriety. That's just absolutely dumbfounding me. It's a good thing, I suppose, but I think back on the times when I drank and the reasons why, or hell, in some cases, the lack of reasons why, just to do it, Some of you may know, some years ago, when I was married, my wife and I moved to California for a number of reasons. And looking back in a nutshell, in those years in California, that wasn't the smartest move we ever made, individually or collectively. It had its reasons at the time, but in the long run, we both have surmised that it was a huge mistake. But I had no plans ever to live in California, but sometimes things come up in your life that make things possible, and you go in that direction, with maybe the best intentions. And, hey, sometimes it works out just great. You can pat each other on the back. And other times it doesn't. But I'll tell you, in these last 6-7 years in particular, there's just been so much uprising and so much disconnect and so much reconfiguring and shuffling and putting things into different priorities, and some things ending and some things beginning, and and that goes for all of us. It's not just me, certainly no. But it's kind of like you put things in place the best you can, the best you know how, and then you just sit back and look at what you've constructed, and you're like, this doesn't look like it does on the box. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what Don Henley once said in a song. The more I know, the less I understand. All the things I thought I'd figured out, I have to learn again. I've been trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak, and my thoughts seem to scatter, but I think it's about forgiveness. Even if you don't love me anymore. And, that can apply to a lot of things. It's not just the love between two people. It's just the love and the desire that you have for living and participating. And, I've always been the kind of person that likes to get involved, and help out, or, create something, make something happen. But continue this in a minute.